Moving into a nursing home, the biggest mistake of my life. At 80 years old, I have lived through enough ups and downs to understand the value of freedom, family, and personal choice. But there is one decision I deeply regret: moving into a nursing home. At the time, I believed I was making the best choice. My family encouraged me, assuring me that I would receive excellent care, have friends to talk to, and no longer have to worry about daily life. They painted a beautiful picture, and I trusted them completely. But reality turned out to be far different from what I had imagined. I know that many of you may also be considering this choice, whether for yourself or a loved one. You might think it is the safest path, the best solution for old age. But before you make a decision, I want to share the things I wish I had known earlier. Because a nursing home is not just a place to rest, it changes everything. And once you step inside, the road back is not as simple as you might think. When I first arrived, I thought I would adjust quickly. But then I realized that life in a nursing home felt like a mechanical routine. Everything operated on a strict schedule. I no longer had the freedom to decide when to eat, when to take a walk, or even when to enjoy a moment of solitude. I lost my independence and the small habits I once cherished. But the worst part was not losing control over my daily routine. It was the loneliness. Even though I was surrounded by many people, how many truly listened? I missed the evenings spent with my family, the laughter of my grandchildren, and even the simple pleasure of brewing a hot cup of tea and relaxing in my familiar space. Here, I felt like a part of me had been taken away, a part that I could never get back. If you are considering moving into a nursing home, think carefully. Don't let promises overshadow the truth. Explore all your options before making a decision that could change your life forever. Stay with me until the end, because some of these lessons might surprise you. And if you know someone who is thinking about moving into a nursing home, this might be exactly what they need to hear before making their final choice. Losing personal freedom in a nursing home. Moving into a nursing home forced me to face a painful reality: the loss of personal autonomy in my daily life. Before, I had the freedom to decide my schedule, when to wake up, eat, and engage in my favorite activities like taking walks, cooking, or reading in my favorite chair. However, once I entered the nursing home, I realized that everything was arranged according to a fixed schedule that did not align with my personal preferences. Meals were served at designated times, even if I wasn't hungry. Lights were turned off at a set hour, even if I wasn't ready to sleep. Even something as simple as going for a walk required permission and waiting for staff assistance. It was then that I understood. In a place designed for care, I had lost the most important thing: control over my own life. Personal choices become a luxury. Personal decisions, such as choosing meals or clothing, gradually became a luxury. I remember vividly the feeling of isolation during my first week here. Waking up in an unfamiliar bed, surrounded by empty walls, devoid of the familiar belongings I had cherished for years. The absence of personal mementos made me feel as if I had lost a part of myself. The hardest realization was that once freedom is lost, regaining it is nearly impossible. I had no choice but to adapt to the existing system, following the rules and schedules set for me. Over time, I stopped questioning the dinner menu and no longer requested walks at my own convenience. This adaptation led to a sense of loss, of identity and independence, making me feel like just a small part of a much larger machine, with no real control over my own life. Before moving into a nursing home, ask yourself, are you ready to give up the small freedoms that define your life? When considering a move to a nursing home, it's crucial to ask yourself whether you're truly willing to give up the personal freedoms that have shaped your daily life. Simple habits, choosing when to wake up, deciding on meals, or engaging in your favorite activities, may be restricted in this new environment. Studies have shown that the feeling of home is deeply connected to personal experiences and emotions built over time, where independence and control play a vital role. Losing the ability to make these decisions can significantly impact one's sense of autonomy and overall happiness. Therefore, before making a final decision, think carefully about your willingness to adapt to these changes and consider the potential impact on your quality of life. Loneliness, and the feeling of being forgotten in a nursing home. When I decided to move into a nursing home, I believed I would receive attentive care while maintaining close connections with my family. At first, things went as expected. My daughter visited me weekly, and my grandchildren stopped by on weekends. These visits reassured me that I was still an important part of their lives. However, over time, the frequency of visits dwindled. My daughter began calling instead of visiting, and my grandchildren became preoccupied with school and work. Holidays, once eagerly anticipated, became empty stretches of time as planned visits were often canceled at the last minute. I found myself sitting in the common room, alongside other residents, my eyes fixed on the door, holding on to a fragile hope that someone might walk in. Life's busyness had swept them away, not because my family no longer loved me, but because when you're no longer present in someone's daily routine, it's easy for them to assume you're doing fine, that you've adjusted to your new environment. But in reality, the longer I stayed in the nursing home, the more I felt forgotten. I remember many evenings, holding my phone in hesitation, debating whether to call my son, afraid that I would become a burden, afraid that my call would only serve as a painful reminder of my loneliness. The feeling of being forgotten doesn't just affect the mind. It has real consequences on overall health. Studies have shown that loneliness among the elderly is linked to a decline in physical and mental well-being. And as the days pass in this quiet, structured place, I can't help but wonder, did I make the right choice after all? The feeling of being forgotten affects more than just the mind. It also negatively impacts overall health. According to an article on the Duong Lao Vuan Lai website, elderly individuals often experience loneliness and a sense of being forgotten when they do not receive adequate attention from family and society. This can lead to severe psychological and health issues. To minimize feelings of loneliness, maintaining relationships with family and friends is crucial. Participating in social activities such as clubs and communal events can also help seniors feel more connected and find a greater sense of purpose in life. However, nothing can truly replace the care and attention of loved ones. Before deciding to move into a nursing home, carefully consider whether you are prepared to face the possibility of being forgotten. Once you enter, maintaining close relationships with family and friends becomes more challenging, and loneliness may become an unwanted companion. Reflecting on the decision to move into a nursing home, are you ready to lose the familiar things that define your life? When considering a move to a nursing home, many people focus on the amenities and care services provided. However, few realize that this decision may mean giving up the daily routines and activities that once brought joy and meaning to life. Small things, like making a morning cup of coffee, tending to a small plant on the balcony, or simply rearranging your living space to your liking, contribute to a sense of autonomy and purpose. In a nursing home environment, despite receiving attentive care, the freedom to decide on daily activities may be limited. Schedules are often pre-established, dictating meal times and recreational activities. This can lead to feelings of loss of control and a lack of autonomy over one's own life. According to an article on Nuras, living in a nursing home can make seniors feel like they have lost their independence and control over their lives, as they must adhere to the facility's rules and timetables. Moreover, being separated from a familiar environment and loved ones can intensify feelings of loneliness and depression. While nursing homes may organize social and recreational activities, these may not always be engaging or fulfilling enough to replace previous social connections. This lack of meaningful engagement can negatively impact mental health and overall quality of life. Before making the decision to move into a nursing home, ask yourself, are you truly ready to give up the small yet significant aspects that make up your daily life? Can you adapt to a new environment where personal freedom may be limited and loneliness may increase? These are important questions that must be carefully considered to ensure that the decision made will be in the best interest of both yourself and your family. When choosing to move into a nursing home, many elderly individuals hope to find dedicated care and a safe living environment. However, the reality may be far different from expectations, especially when daily routines and habits are altered or lost entirely. Consider the case of Mr. Adam, 83 years old, who was once a devoted gardener. For many years, he spent most of his time tending to his small garden, where he grew various flowers and vegetables. Gardening not only helped him maintain his health, but also brought him joy and a sense of accomplishment. However, after moving into a nursing home, Mr. Adam no longer had the space or tools to continue his passion. His days became long and empty, lacking a clear purpose. He shared, "I feel like I have lost an important part of my life. The loss of familiar activities and the feeling of no longer having control over one's life can lead to both mental and physical decline in the elderly." According to an article on Nura's website, many seniors who move into nursing homes face loneliness and a sense of abandonment, especially when they lack regular attention from their families. Before moving into the nursing home, my health was relatively good for my age. While I was no longer able to engage in strenuous activities, I could still take care of myself, go for walks, and even dance regularly. These habits helped me stay flexible and active. Walking not only improved my cardiovascular health, but also helped with weight control and boosted my mood. Dancing, besides bringing joy, strengthened my muscles, improved my balance, and reduced the risk of falls. However, after moving into the nursing home, these activities gradually disappeared. The lack of physical movement led to a rapid decline in both my physical and mental well-being. Losing daily activities and the sense of control over my own life can accelerate the deterioration of health in the elderly. Before deciding to move into a nursing home, it is crucial to think carefully. If you are considering moving into a nursing home, ask yourself, what makes your life meaningful? Can the new environment support and sustain those aspects? Sometimes exploring alternative solutions, such as home care services or joining community activity centers, can help you maintain your independence and continue doing what you love while still receiving the necessary support. Therefore, before making this significant decision, carefully consider what you will be giving up and whether a nursing home is truly the best choice for you. Moving into a nursing home, I thought it was just a change of residence, but it turned out to be a change in my entire lifestyle and health. Initially, having my meals served and not having to worry about cooking or cleaning felt like a relief. Whenever I needed something, I simply pressed a button, and someone would come to assist me. However, over time, I realized that doing fewer daily tasks on my own made my body weaker. I moved less, and before long, my legs began losing their flexibility. Sitting for long hours made it increasingly difficult to stand up from a chair. The muscles I had spent years maintaining seemed to be deteriorating at an alarming rate. This translation preserves the meaning, tone, and emotions of the original text, while ensuring clarity and natural readability in English. Let me know if you'd like any refinements. Smiling face with smiling eyes. I am not the only one experiencing this. I see many others facing the same situation. People who could walk independently when they first arrived now rely on wheelchairs. Those who were once self-sufficient now need assistance for tasks they used to do effortlessly. It seems that the more help we receive, the more dependent we become. I think of Mrs. Emma, 84 years old, a woman full of energy when she first moved in. She used to take daily walks around the facility, always insisting that age would not slow her down. But after just a few months, I noticed she walked less. Then she started using a walker, and eventually a wheelchair. One day, she looked at me with sad eyes and said, "I don't know when it happened, but I feel like I've aged 10 years in just a few months." Her words made me reflect deeply. When we stop using our bodies, we start losing them. In a nursing home environment, where everything is designed to make life easier, it's easy to forget that movement is not just about convenience. It's about sustaining life and quality of life. If I had realized how quickly I would lose my strength, I would have tried harder to stay active and keep my body moving. When I decided to move into a nursing home, I did not anticipate the profound changes that would affect my daily life. I used to manage everything myself, from preparing meals to maintaining my living space. However, in this new environment, everything was prearranged, and over time, I lost the motivation to stay active. The lack of movement affected not only my physical health, but also my mental well-being. If you are considering moving into a nursing home, Ask yourself, will you be able to maintain the motivation to stay healthy when all your needs are automatically met? Convenience can lead to passivity, and once you slow down, regaining your mobility is not easy. Another important aspect to consider is privacy and personal dignity. At home, I had my own private space where I could carry out personal activities without interruptions. But in the nursing home, privacy became a luxury. Staff frequently entered my room for routine check-ins, and shared spaces rarely allowed for solitude. Even personal tasks like changing clothes or using the bathroom sometimes required assistance. While I understand that the staff are simply doing their jobs, losing my independence and having to rely on others for basic needs is not easy to accept. Therefore, before deciding to move into a nursing home, carefully consider whether you will be able to maintain your independence, privacy, and dignity in this new environment. Proper preparation and awareness can help you adjust and maintain the best possible quality of life. When I decided to move into a nursing home, I did not anticipate the challenges of privacy and dignity that I would face. Tasks that once seemed simple, like using the bathroom, became difficult. Pressing the call button did not always bring immediate assistance, and sometimes I had to wait longer than expected. Meal choices were also limited. If I didn't like the menu for the day, there weren't many alternatives available. This translation ensures clarity, accuracy, and a natural flow, while preserving the emotions and depth of the original text. Let me know if you need any refinements. Smiling face with smiling eyes. Sharing living space, a challenge. Sharing living space with others is also a significant challenge. Not everyone has a private room, and living with a roommate you didn't choose can create many difficulties. I was unfortunate to have a roommate with an unpredictable temperament. Sometimes they were noisy at night, disrupting my sleep. Despite my efforts to make the room feel like home, I still felt a lack of privacy and comfort. Dignity is a precious thing and hard to lose, but I didn't realize how much I had to give up until I experienced it firsthand. When staff knocked but didn't wait for permission before entering, when I was treated more like a patient than an independent person, when my daily schedule was dictated by others. All of these things made me feel as if I had lost my identity and autonomy. If you are considering moving into a nursing home, ask yourself, are you ready to give up the privacy and control you've had all your life? Because once it's gone, it's hard to get back. Regret number 6. Realizing that leaving is harder than you think. When I first moved into the nursing home, I told myself it was only temporary. I thought I would try it out, see how things went, and if I didn't like it, I could always leave. But I didn't realize how difficult it would be to leave once I had entered. At first, it seemed simple. If I didn't like it, I would just go back home. But home was no longer the same. Returning to independent living requires careful preparation and support from many sides. I realized that once I had adapted to the nursing home environment, reintegrating into the outside community was not easy. My self-care skills may have faded, and my social support network may have changed. Before deciding to move into a nursing home, think carefully about the changes and challenges you may face, not just when entering, but also when trying to leave. Additionally, my health declined significantly. After months in an environment where all my needs were met, from cooking to cleaning, I found myself no longer as agile or strong as before. My confidence in my ability to care for myself gradually disappeared, making the thought of returning home seem distant. The fear of not being able to live independently kept me from leaving. During my time here, I have met many others in similar situations. They initially thought they would try living in a nursing home for a short time, only to realize that leaving was not as simple as they had imagined. The longer they stayed, the harder it became to adjust to life outside. Some even lost the opportunity to return home entirely, either because their house had been sold or because their savings had been depleted due to the high cost of living here. This translation preserves the meaning, tone, and depth of the original text, while ensuring natural readability in English. Let me know if you'd like any refinements. Smiling face with smiling eyes. The impact of moving into a nursing home. These experiences have made me realize that the decision to move into a nursing home does not only affect where you live, It profoundly impacts your life, health, and family relationships. It is essential to carefully consider and mentally prepare for unexpected changes that may arise. When considering moving into a nursing home, many people believe it is a decision that can be reversed if it does not work out. However, the reality is that leaving this environment is not so simple. Once you have adapted to life in a nursing home, financial, physical, and emotional barriers can make returning to your previous way of life far more challenging than expected. Stay connected and show your support. If you're watching this video and find the information helpful, leave the number 8 in the comments below, so I know you're still following along. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss future videos. Your support is the motivation that drives us to continue providing quality content to inform and inspire you. Reflections on my decision. Looking back, I don't regret growing older, but I do regret thinking that a nursing home was my only option. I had expected comfort, security, and a better quality of life when I moved in. I thought I would find comfort and safety here. However, reality slowly stripped away my autonomy, privacy, and sense of self-worth. This doesn't mean that all nursing homes are bad. Many people genuinely need the care that these facilities provide. However, before making this decision, think carefully about what you might have to sacrifice. Because once you enter, your life will be changed forever. If I could turn back time, I would have made more effort to maintain my life at home, explored alternative support options that didn't require giving up my freedom, and only moved into a nursing home as a last resort. If you are facing this decision, ask yourself, is this truly the best choice for me, or just the easiest option available right now? Because your daily routines, independence, and right to make decisions deserve to be valued and preserved for as long as possible. We value your thoughts. Thank you for joining us today. We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below about what you've learned today and how you plan to apply it to your life. Your insights matter to us, so don't hesitate to share. Reading your comments is a great source of encouragement for us. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating high-quality content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. This translation ensures a natural and engaging tone while accurately conveying the message. Let me know if you'd like any adjustments. Smiling face with smiling eyes.